I'm so excited about this weekend. Do you know why? Because I haven't got to do much.
Lazy bastard.
Yeah. So it's a couple of days off for me. And in fact, what's really going to be interesting from a personal point of view, I count a hot tin roof. It's like, how do I get in there? So it's a bit of a tight squeeze we got in here today, but we wanted to have tables because there's going to be a lot of writing, note taking, and doing that on your lap wouldn't have been so easy. Just out of interest, a couple of people haven't sent me their hero's journey. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't panic.
Not yet.
I'll just embarrass you in front of everyone, but apart from that,
Yeah.
no, I'm covering it, I'm coming at it from a different angle. So if anyone hasn't done it, you'll still get all the benefits from it.
Yeah. And there's a couple of people, there's someone, I think, stragglers, someone is coming at lunchtime. Chrissy's not well this morning and she said she'll try and make it at lunchtime. I think we've got someone who's showing up tomorrow, so they'll be in lag time. We'll handle that. I'll be speaking with those individuals, but I'm sure they'll come up to you and go, what did I miss? So your response is, how long you got? Because we are going to
It was the best thing ever.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, you should have been here. Oh, well, never mind. So, but let me just start off with a conversation I had with Mark. Mark, wave Mark to everyone. This is Mark. And Mark came in this morning, and I hadn't met him before. And he's come to help John out as one of John's apprentices. And he asked me a question. He said, when did you meet John? And I was like, ages ago. And then I went, oh shit, last year. It literally was last year at an event. Some of you may not have heard the story, but I was, hands up if you heard of Michael Neal. Okay, so most of you have heard of him. So Michael Neal was running an event, and I promoted his Creating the Impossible book. And because I was in the book with the G-pop, he said, oh, you should come to one of my events in London. And I didn't have the time, and I hadn't budgeted any money for this event, and I'm in the bath one day thinking I'm not going to go, but then I had this feeling I've got to go to Michael's event. I'm like, why? I trained with the people that train Michael. It's like I'm not going to necessarily get anything from it, but I love Michael. If I was to hire a coach, I would have hired Michael. Okay, back in the day when I first came across his work. So anyway, the 24 hours passed, and Anna says, so what are you going to do about Michael's event? Are you going to go? I'm like, there's only 8 people going to be there. I'm not sure. And then I had a feeling, I've got to go, but I don't know why. So I went. And I'm sitting, it was a small room in Covent Garden, and there was 8 of us sitting around on some sofas and a couple of armchairs. And Michael was going around the room asking what people wanted to get out of the experience. And I think I said enlightenment, and other people said...
He wasn't aiming very high, but in life.
Exactly. And anyway, I ended up sitting next to this guy, and we had a conversation, and he asked me a question. He said, what do you want to do with your business? Because I didn't know what John did. I said, I just want to make more impact. And it was like in slow motion, his reaction was, what? What did he say? I said, I want to make more impact, help more people, and get off the freaking treadmill of trading time for money. Constantly chasing it, because for 10 years, more than that, I've been literally training every 6 weeks. Every 6 weeks. And
that was a free event every 6 weeks.
That was a free event every 6 weeks. And paying in the region of £2,000 just to put on the event every 6 weeks. So I was taking a risk, because if people didn't buy in the events, but consistently people bought. Some of you invested in my programs from those free events, the people that are here. In fact, how many did, just out of interest? It's about half, right? So anyway, John said something to me, it's quite profound. First of all, he was surprised that I said impact and not money. Because he said most people that he asks, what do you want with your business? It's more money.
Or more customers. They very rarely will start with impact.
Yeah. So and John said, oh, I might be able to help you. And I could feel my eyes rolling in the back of my head. You know, it's like, oh, no, another one that's going to help me. I've been doing this for a long time. I haven't quite crushed it online, but I'm doing all right. And then he said some things to me that really hit home. He said, well, your business model is flawed.
I didn't use that F word, by the way. There was something else I used.
Yeah. It was fucking flawed. And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean it's flawed? He said, can you not see the bleeding obvious? I said, obviously not. I thought I was quite intelligent, but I can't see it. What's the problem? He said, those 3 events that you run for the last 10 years, like a hamster on the wheel, to get revenue in, how long is that event? I said, it's 1 day. He said, well, how much of the time do you spend on selling the practitioner program or the master, whatever it is? I said, half an hour, 30 minutes. I'll do some free content, help people, phobia cure, might say, hey, why don't you come back and do a 7-day event? And then I'll sign maybe 10 up out of 25 or something like that, if I'm lucky, if I've done well. He said, can you not see the flaw in that model? I went, no, doing all right. He said, you're only selling one for 30 minutes to 30 people every 6 weeks. You should be selling to them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm like, oh, you don't want me to sleep then or something. He said, we can get you online. We can create an offer and make it so that you don't have to run the free events anymore. Do you know what that felt like when I heard those words? Can you imagine the physiology? Oh, seriously? So there was a part of me who was excited, and there was a part of me who was thinking, yeah, I've heard it before. I've read the Frank Kern and the Brendon Burchard and the Eben Pagan and all these internet gurus out there going to help me. And here's this young bloke who's crushing it online, and how on earth is he going to be able to help this old geezer like this who still has a tape deck in his car? Because I did at the time, before I got my new car.
I didn't know that, by the way. I wouldn't have partnered with you. But
Well, I did.
I'm glad you've only just sold me that.
Yeah. So now I have an MP3 player, and I'm very sophisticated. So all I can say is that over the next couple of days, you're going to be learning some things that could transform your life. Seriously. But one of the things I asked John, I said, all right, John, because John said, look, I'm going to help you. You're a bit of an underdog, and we're going to help you transition from teaching NLP, hypnosis, and coaching to purely the principles. That's right, purely the principles. And you won't have to be on that treadmill all the time. And you'll make more impact. Well, look at the room. How many of you are in the Ultimate Coach program? There you go. Who created the Ultimate Coach program? This guy. We've got 250 people that have signed up to that program.
No, us.
All right, us. And we just started. We're just warming up. And I only got the spreadsheets last night, but our Facebook ads, we're currently getting a return of 80%. Well, it actually is 86% since June. So for every £1 we put in, we get the £1 back from Facebook plus 86 pence. Put $1 million in, you get 860,000. That's based on the 6 months of research. I will show some charts and graphs. I've really got into detail lately. I'm actually quite enjoying spreadsheets. It's like really bizarre. So I don't know what's happened, but sitting there looking at the performance of how your automated business is going is such pleasure, knowing that I can come up, this is where I play golf. When you see me, where do I play golf? It's here. Instead of in a room trying to get business. Because the internet is taking care of it, because somebody taught me how to do it properly. So without further ado, I just want to pass on a little bit of that excitement to you and like you to give a hearty, warm welcome to John Street, the man behind the scene. And I'm going to leave the stage, mate, and hand the floor to you.
Leave it to me.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Now, I've got to say something about David as well, by the way, obviously, because there's a lot of people that I've shown this to who don't implement it. And therefore, they don't get the impact and the results that David did. So as soon as the way that actually came about was I wasn't looking for clients. I purposely didn't tell anyone in the room what I did, because usually people are like, oh, you know, I might need your help, or I might know someone who needs your help. And someone asked me during the break, and I just said, oh, you know, I'm a copywriter, I know a bit about marketing online. Straight away, David taps me, oh, you know, can you look at something for me? And so for me, when he heard that I was an internet marketer, he kind of, oh God, another one. For me, when I heard that, I thought, oh Jesus, another one. But then when we started speaking, and he said how focused on impact he was, that was when it was like, okay, let's look at his business model. And it was awful. And a lot of business models are awful. Because a lot of people are copying people who don't know what they're doing. And even the people who do know what they're doing often aren't teaching it correctly, holding stuff back for their 25 grand masterminds. There's a lot of unconscious competence going on. There's a lot of crappy, flawed information out there. So my job over this weekend is to try and distill as much as I possibly can in 2 days. There's obviously going to be filming, so if at any point you start thinking, what the hell is he going on about? Don't panic. You can watch the recordings. We're going to have questions and all the rest of it. You can ask questions as you go as well. So, don't feel as though you've got to wait until the end. I've been so excited about this weekend because I know what can happen in this room. I've seen it with David. I've seen it with other people. I know what can happen with you guys. So as long as you're willing to give me your attention and take action on stuff, this could be a very, very exciting beginning for all of you and for me to witness. The reason I do this is because of stories that I'm going to show you in a minute, stories like David. I read comments in the Facebook group every single week and feel emotional because it's like, what? How have we done this? No, the answer is not I don't know, Dave. That was the wrong answer. The answer is exactly what I'm going to show you this weekend. But it's humbling, and I do not take it for granted that you've all travelled here this weekend to listen to me bang on for 2 days. I promise you're going to get a lot of value. So let us begin.